Risk of Rain, a game that usually shows up in everybody's recommended list when it comes to roguelikes. And just this week, the classic game got a facelift with Risk of Rain Returns. Now, I know a lot of people enjoy this game, but for me personally, the original Risk of Rain wasn't quite my cup of tea. I, for one, enjoyed the third-person perspective that the sequel brought to the table. And with a brand new expansion being teased as we speak, I'm sure fans of the second game are clamoring for something to play. So if you got a minute, let me show you 5 games that are like Risk of Rain 2 that you could play today. But before we get started, be sure to hit that like button, otherwise everybody on the planet's copy of Risk of Rain is about to explode. Think I'm kidding? Risk it. I didn't mean the risk it bit. That's funny though. So what if you were a frog who could operate a giant mech with a sword? Well, let me introduce you to a little game called Shoulder of Giants. Chaos is being sped throughout the stars, corrupting planets and affecting the balance of nature. Now it's time for you and your buddies, alongside a psychic owl leader, to fight to restore the light. Explore this colorful sci-fi world while cutting down waves of enemies on the quest to rescue the galaxy from the evil forces of entropy. Similarly to Risk of Rain 2, you can pick up power-ups that give you new abilities so you can thrash your way to victory. Like a ring that you can toss around like Cap's shield, a big old earthquake, and a giant shoe that can stomp on your enemies. I also want to point out how I love the variety of environments in Shoulder of Giants. From beautiful lush fields to snow-capped mountains, from devastating wastelands to dark and mysterious voids, each planet introduces something cool and new for you to see. Also, tongue grappling hook. That could have either sold you or scared you away, but now you know it exists. So you and your froggy companions can jump into Shoulder of Giants right now on either Epic Game Store or Xbox, and there's currently a Steam release slated for early 2024, so look forward to that. In a world where all superheroes have been turned into giant bulbous monsters, it's up to you and your team of vigilantes to save the day. This is Superior Vengeance. Before I talk about the details, let me preface that there are 2 versions of this game. There's the Epic Game Store one, which I believe is currently inaccessible, but it contains NFT and blockchain mumbo-jumbo stuff. And then there's the Steam version, which doesn't contain any of it. I'm personally not educated enough to explain all of that, but figured buyer beware is important here. Now, in Superior Vengeance, you can partner up with a squad of 3 in objective-based missions where you have to fend off hordes of mutated superheroes while leveling up your characters. You can play as 4 different characters: Ronin, Nomad, Murmur, and the recently released Renegade, as you evolve their skill trees using the powers of the mutated beasts you defeat. The sprawling city of this game is filled with vibrant and eye-popping colors, so if you like games like Sunset Overdrive or Hi-Fi Rush, you've got a similar tone here. So far, I've really enjoyed my time with Superior, but unfortunately, it's not the hottest game in the market right now, so matchmaking is sorta useless. But if you're down to run solo or convince your friends to pick it up, Superior Vengeance is a great time. No NFTs required. Gunfire Reborn is a first-person shooter roguelite, where you and your friends can play as a bunch of cute and fluffy heroes wielding some crazy-ass guns. Each run produces randomized levels, introducing different heroes, items, checkpoints, combat rhythms, and more. The combination of outcomes you can have is endless. Combat is going to be hectic in Gunfire Reborn, as massive enemies and brutal bosses attack you from all fronts, all while being surrounded by crazy traps and unpredictable environments. Plus, who knows what kind of weapons you'll have to defend yourself. You could have an elemental submachine gun, or you just might have a little lizard friend who shoots fire when you squeeze his tummy. Hard to guess what you'll end up with, really. Though it holds the title of a roguelike, the gameplay is very similar to something like Borderlands. But if roguelike Borderlands sounds like your speed, be sure to look into Gunfire Reborn for you and your friends on Steam, Switch, PlayStation, and Xbox. Welcome to ArcRunner, a beautiful neon-lit cyberpunk action roguelite where you're trying to reset an AI that's gone rogue. Hopefully this isn't a depiction of our future. In ArcRunner, you can experiment with different styles of weapons and augments as you battle through waves of machines. Oh, and they're programmed solely to eliminate you. How fun. You initiate each run by being released from your dope cybernetic capsule and released into the streets to defeat your enemies as one of 3 classes: the ninja, the soldier, and the hacker. The further you make it into each level, the closer you get to taking on some seriously difficult bosses. I mean, these suckers absolutely absorb your bullets. Now, we found the best strat is to make sure that somebody's playing as the ninja, that way you can go invisible, while the other players mess around distracting the boss. Then the ninja can stealth res. Real pro gamer moves here. Between runs, you use the nanites that you find lying around to permanently upgrade your modifications, so you can deal more damage or equip multiple weapons at a time. The areas of ArcRunner aren't nearly as big as the worlds in Risk of Rain 2, but if you like the thrill of battling in tight spaces, ArcRunner is definitely one to check out. And you can play it today on PC through Steam, PlayStation, or Xbox. Another day, another alien invasion to deal with. In Die After Sunset, the Murkers have taken over Earth, and it's up to you to fend them off. But you've got to do it fast, because if sunset hits, it's not going to be good for your squad. There's currently 3 characters you can play as: April the Sharpshooter, Rito the half-cyborg machine gunner, and Hoon the Murker experiment gone haywire. Each run will present your team with a random collection of challenges to complete. While doing these challenges, you'll get to open chests, unlock new weapons, and pick up some nasty mucus, which you'll use to upgrade your skill trees to go back in and defeat more of those nasty aliens. But before you go slaughtering aliens, do you think we can make friends with them? Come on, look at these little dudes. They're only kinda scary. This one's pretty cute, honestly. Race to power up and defeat the alien hordes in Die After Sunset, available on Steam, Switch, PlayStation, and Xbox. And there you have it, 5 games similar to Risk of Rain 2. Be sure to let me know if any of these games caught your interest and if you're going to check them out. Also, if there's any other kind of games you're looking for, be sure to let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and be sure to subscribe because I got plenty more indie content coming your way.